Oh yeah, I want to watch this. I want to watch this video. I want to watch KLEAN'S video.
Max level, you get a 25% hearing bonus. So if you put on an alt-in, you literally hear better than a player with 0 perception with no helmet on. It's broken. Like, nobody should be hearing anything further in the game.
I agree.
At all.
I was saying this the other day. Perception's a stupid skill and it needs to be changed. It's ridiculous. That's what contacts are for. IMO.
Are you still enjoying Tarkov? Am I still enjoying Tarkov? Yes, actually I am. Thank you for asking. However, I will say this. I'm starting to notice the late game creep starting to happen. We're about how many days in this wipe? 40 days. Pretty good. Like, this is by far... Wait, I thought I've been over 500 raids for a hot minute. That's weird. Anyway, so we're about 40 days into the wipe, and this has by far been one of the best wipes there's ever been. Like, by far. Like, even early days pre-flea market, like, I think this is one of the best wipes that's ever happened. A lot of the economy changes, a lot of the gameplay changes, inertia. It's fantastic. I fucking love it. It's really good. However, I'm starting to notice some of the late game creep kind of creeping in. And that's not so much with gear and equipment. It's with the skills and abilities. This is something I've been talking about for a long time, is the skills and abilities are fucking busted. Mainly strength and endurance. They're fucking broken. They're so overpowered. Players who have level 51 strength and 51 endurance have tremendous advantage over everybody else who plays this game. Everybody. And mind you, max strength and endurance players last wipe, it was only like 5% of the community who played Tarkov got max strength and endurance. 5%. And so the reason why I think it's overpowered is, first of all, jump height. This is kind of busted. Bunny hopping is still a thing. And you can still like zigzag and like bunny hop. There's no inertia when sprinting. BSG is going to address that though. And second, the increased movement speed is also fucking broken because you get a 20% movement bonus from max level strength. And not only that, at max level strength, you have a perk that basically removes all of the weight from your helmet, your contacts, your glasses, your face cover, your guns, your handgun, your melee weapon, your chest rig, and your backpack. The only thing that weigh you down are items in your inventory. So the magazines, my meds, my grenade, and anything in my backpack, and anything in my gamma container. Even the gamma doesn't weigh anything. And on top of that, at max level strength, you have a 10% bonus to like less inertia, basically. So inertia at 0 strength scales at 0 weight. So at 1 kg, you start having negative impacts of inertia. At 50 strength, at 10 kg is when you start having any negative impacts of inertia. So you have a 10% mitigation of inertia. I'm starting to notice the late game creep between mainly strength and endurance, because endurance allows you to sprint around a lot. You can still do crazy like zigzagging and bunny hopping. And if you have a huge pool of stamina, you can do a lot of that. You can do a fucking lot of it. You can zigzag and run around and do all this crazy shit. Same thing with strength. Like, strength increases your jump height, increases your movement speed, and also mitigates inertia and makes it to where you don't fucking weigh anything. So you can literally have a mountain of gear on you and still move around like fucking Usain Bolt. I'm starting to notice that, like, the late game creep, and it's mainly with the skills. Everything else is fine. Like, the gear and the economy is fine. Like, I'm not seeing super sweaty chads everywhere with like crazy ammo. It's actually cool. Like, a lot of the meta right now is like low recoil, like subsonic rounds. And I think that's kind of neat because people want that low recoil, but it sucks at range and it doesn't have that great AP power. So if you have like level 4 or 5 armor, 4 or 5 visor, like that's going to hard, like, you know, that's going to hard stop that shit in its tracks, which I think is pretty cool. And that prolongs the TTK overall in the game, which is good. And also, this is another one, perception. This is another broken fucking skill. At max level, you get a 25% hearing bonus. So if you put on an alt-in, you literally hear better.
So far, though, I totally agree. I reap the benefits of having max strength, and I'm going to reap the benefits of having max endurance soon, but, like, do I think it's balanced? No. Perception? Fucking stupid. Shouldn't be a thing.
Than a player with 0 perception with no helmet on. It's fucking broken. Like, nobody should be hearing anything further in the game at all.
Yeah, like, dude, the fact that I can sit in East Wing of Shoreline and hear people walking around in admin absolutely perfectly, and people walking around in West Wing absolutely perfectly is, like, weird. Like, that should not be a thing.
Like, it encourages camping in an unfair manner because EFT's audio is fucking broken. You can hear things through walls and all that kind of shit. Literally, with max level perception with contacts, you can hear somebody sprinting 100 meters away. 100 meters away, you can hear somebody sprinting. And so you can literally post up in a bush and wait for that guy because you could hear him running 100 meters away. That's fucking ridiculous. it, like I said, it encourages a bad meta of unfair camping. And again, I'm not against camping. I do it all the time. You know what I mean? Like I love setting up ambushes, but like it gives an unfair advantage for high level players with high level perception because of the realistic distance that they can hear things, especially when you tack contacts on top of that. It's really the skills that I think are one of the core issues with like gameplay at the moment. Is it's perception, it's strength, it's endurance. I don't really know what the recoil bonuses are looking like for a lot of the weapon skills. Frankly, they don't level that fast anyway, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. And frankly, they've nerfed them a couple times in the past.
Yeah, that's something I'd kind of like to see changed. Like the weapon skills are kind of irrelevant. They kind of got nerfed into oblivion and they level super, super slowly. But I think there's like some really cool stuff that they could do with those skills, but they're just kind of like, they're just kind of irrelevant right now. IMO.
So I think they're probably in a good spot. And potentially covert movement could be pretty OP too, but it does level pretty slowly. Like I have almost 500 raids and I slow walk almost every raid, and you know, I'm only like level 18. But I'm sure there's some people out there who have some pretty high.
You see how insane this is too? When Clean recorded this, he was level 42, 500 raids deep. He's 17 endurance and 27 strength. And I know why his endurance is so low. Because he doesn't play like me. He plays slower. He doesn't fucking sprint everywhere. And it's just like, just because you don't sprint around everywhere like an idiot, like I do, and a lot of other people who play this game, you're being punished. Because you've got like no stamina pool, which also affects, you know, your ADS. You know, you're fucking holding your breath and shit like that. Like it's, I don't know. It's a crazy disadvantage to be at when you play the game, quote unquote, like its intended way. You know what I mean?
Experience levels in it.
He goes into raids overweight most of the time. He goes into raids overweight most of the time because he's only 27 strength. I was the same as well.
But yeah, it's just, I think like this again, the swipe is amazing. Best fucking patch that the issue's ever released. It's fantastic, but it's I think it's time that the skills,
gaining levels due to how you play makes sense though. I agree. But what is he gaining? Like max endurance and max strength are two of the most broken perks in this game. Like absolutely. Like hands fucking down, bar none, are two of the most broken skills in this game. They're so overpowered. And I don't think people understand how fucking strong they are. However, by him not taking advantage of like sprinting around and gaining endurance all the time, what other soft skills is he leveling that even has anywhere near the same impact on gameplay as endurance? You know what I mean? Like endurance is one of the biggest like gameplay impactors there is in the game.
Get looked at because from
if you're a looter, instant search speeds up your game dramatically. Yeah, they do. But dude, it takes so long to get max search though, Hotel. Like, hang on. Guys, how many bodies have you seen me loot? How many weapon crates have you seen me loot? How many scabs have you seen me loot? My search isn't even level 20 yet. My attention skill is only level 18. Like, it's insane. With the way I play, it would take me so many raids to get these maxed. There we go.
From like a design perspective, I think like having players who play this game all day like me, and other players who have enough time to play this game all day like me, when they can have these huge bonuses from the stats, it puts them on another pedestal that is like way above like 90% of the player base, if not 95% of the player base, because only 5% of the community, I think it was like 20,000 people or something like that, got max strength and max endurance last wipe. But like when you have those max level stats and abilities, it literally puts you on a whole nother fucking level in terms of your ability to maneuver and fight compared to everybody else. And if it was up to me, the difference between max level strength and endurance would be about 10%. So that way the bar between like a level 0 player who's new and a level 50 player who has 50 strength and 50 endurance, or 51, wouldn't be that much of a difference. It would just be a placebo buff. So that way it's like, even if you are like a level 20 player with 10 endurance and 10 strength, you're really like compared side by side, you're not going to be that different. Like I really feel that the movement of your character as well as your stamina drain should be entirely dependent on the weight of your equipment. So if you want to be fast, bring in lighter gear. Don't go in very heavy. If you want to have a lot of armor and you want to like wear heavier kit, that's fine. But you're going to suffer from being a little slower, and you know, you're going to be a little louder, and you know, you're not going to be as fast. but you have that armor advantage. And what's great is since strength also, you know, increases your carry weight over time as you level up strength, kits that used to slow you down don't slow you down as much. And I feel like that's a fair buff from the strength stat, because I think at max level it's a 25% carry bonus. So like, you know, like Alton Slick at level 0 can make you feel pretty slow, but once you get like level 30, 40, it doesn't slow you down as much anymore. And so you can move a little bit faster, but not a lot, but just a bit. And I think that's a really fair advantage, you know, aside from 11% or 20% on top of that when you max out the stat. And so like, again, this wipe's fucking great. I love it. It's the best the game has ever fucking been, but the skills I think need a good look, because like it is, in my opinion, it gives an unfair advantage to people who have a lot of time to play this game, compared to, you know, just your regular dude.
You see, this is the one thing, and I kind of was against this before, where I was like, if you spend more time playing, you should be at a higher advantage. Now, I think when I was saying that was more so to, you know, making money, unlocking gear, unlocking traders and shit. But I think that with the soft skills, most of the soft skills require you to do something that you're not really supposed to do. Like, for example, you know, going into a raid with, you know, fucking 300 shotgun shells in your bag to make sure that you're overweight. Or like at the start of every raid, you hit an SJ6 and you sprint until your stamina bar is completely empty, because that's like, you know, the most efficient way to, that's like the most efficient way to level your, you know, your endurance. Or like, you know, sit in a bush and reload a Mosin, you know, 40 times at the start of every raid. Or like, I don't know, searching like ridiculous amounts of things to level up your skills that still takes like, you know, hundreds of hours to actually do. I just think it's just like, it's an old system that just doesn't like make that much sense anymore. And I think it's like one of the last things that BSG needs to do like a total fucking overhaul on. I think everything else is in a pretty good spot at the moment. But dude, the skills like need like some serious addressing in my opinion. It doesn't feel that rewarding. Like, the only two skills I ever want every wipe is max strength and endurance. I don't give a fuck about everything else. I know I'm never going to get max search. I might get close to getting max search by the end of a wipe, but like, the odds are that's not even going to happen anyway. And then everything else is just whatever. Perception, yeah, like, that skill's stupid. That needs to change, because it's such a ridiculous advantage. And it's also, dude, you will never learn what certain things are meant to sound like from X distance, because your fucking perception keeps leveling up. So you're just going to keep confusing yourself, because what sounded closer before is actually now a lot fucking further away. And it's like, how are you supposed to learn, you know, what audio is meant to sound like from where, when your skill keeps changing what you're hearing? That perk should go. The only thing that should affect your distance of hearing or whatever in this game is contacts. I don't think anything else should do it, because yeah, it's kind of a little bit ridiculous. At max perception, you can wear an Alton and you can hear the same as somebody who's not wearing a helmet. Like, that's just fucking stupid. Like, it doesn't make sense, because like, the Alton is supposed to be debuffed by the fact that you can't wear contacts with it, because it's a really heavy helmet and it's really strong and it's fucking, you know, it has to have a negative drawback. But when you get max perception, that doesn't exist. I believe a lot of people complain the new wipe sound and recoil because they got their skills level improved. Yeah, exactly. And everything sounds totally different, and it's all super weird, you know? All skills need reworked and shouldn't be impossible to get elite. They should all level at the same rate almost. Well, no, I think what they should do is they need to do a rebalance of all the soft skills, okay? And they need to make it so that when you level up, you get skill points, and you can spend those skill points on the perks that you like, but make none of them completely broken and overpowered to where everybody's going to be running the exact same perks. For example, if you like running SMGs, put that skill into your SMG and your small weapons handling. Maybe, you know, if you fucking, I don't know, if you like running really light kits, you know, fucking endurance, or you like running heavy kits, you know, run strength, and then, you know, be able to spend money on Jaeger and he fucking trains you and you give him 1,000,000 rubles and you can respec some of your skills. Or like, some of the like elite perks in the game aren't locked behind getting that skill to max level, but they're locked behind like end game hard tasks. Like, there's like a new set of tasks from Jaeger that you have to go complete these, and then you unlock the elite perk regardless of what fucking level you are of that skill. Because then it's actually like a rewarding and fun like gameplay challenge to go and do it, rather than just like going into a raid with your friend and sitting in a fucking weapon crate, and then he puts stuff in, you search it, he takes stuff out, he puts stuff in, you search it, he takes stuff out. Because people still do that, by the way, to level their skills. I would love to see something like that. That would be so cool. Or like, yeah, a skill tree, so that you go, oh, okay, well, I want this perk. But in doing that, you're never going to get the other elite perks. Or maybe you can get like a total of, you know, X amount of elite perks, but you can't get all of them. And, you know, depending on like different days, maybe you change your skill tree around. It's like, oh, today I want to do, you know, some sniping. Maybe I want to do some SMG stuff. Maybe I want to do some shotgun stuff. I'm going to spend X amount of money on Jaeger, respec some of my skills, and then we'll try this build out, or we'll try this build out, or we'll try this build out. You know, I think like there's so much variety, I think, that you could have for like a skill tree in Tarkov. And there's so much potential with like how to unlock certain perks, you know, through questing and stuff, because it's through those quests, you know, that you should gain experience and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of really cool, like, look, this is just one way, and I'm just spitballing this off the top of my head. I've talked about this before, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many cool ideas that could be done. But I don't think anybody disagrees with me when I say that the soft skill system is kind of archaic. And it was fine as a placeholder when we all started playing the game, but like, you know, years later now, I think it's due for a change, like for sure. It would make resetting your PMC fun too, because you could test out builds like Souls games. Yeah, absolutely. RPG style point system where leveling and tasking gives you points to spend on certain skills would be cool. Yeah. Dude, it's kind of like the same way now. Oh, shooter board in heaven? Still, to be fair, I don't think shooter board in heaven should give you any sniper XP. I think all of that sniper XP should be changed to Tarkov shooter, because for shooter board in heaven, nobody ever fucking uses sniper rifles for that. Everybody uses DMRs because it's so much easier with DMRs. You'd never use a sniper for shooter board in heaven unless you wanted to challenge yourself. So I think all that XP needs to be swapped over there, but like it should be, you know, dependent on like what the task is. Like if the task revolves around sniping people, you should get sniper experience. If the task revolves around killing people with X gun, maybe you should get like assault rifle experience or SMG experience. And also, can we talk about this real quick? Tarkov shooter, okay, part 1 to 8, that's a sniper quest line. Cool, that's fine. Like, absolutely have that in the game. That's awesome, because it makes people, you know, snipe, and they're fun quests. I think they're fun anyway, and they're challenging. Why don't we have the same quest line for like SMGs, for shotguns, for fucking individual calibers of pistols? Like there should be like a Tarkov shooter quest line, but for like every different class of gun in the game. Like that'd be so cool, because then you could get XP for those different sidearms and earn perks that would affect those guns. Like, you know, maybe like if you gain X pistol mastery, that means that when you're in the middle of a fight, you can fucking pull out your pistol way faster than the guy in front of you. Or something like that. I don't know. Change the weapon quest to type versus specific gun. Yeah. Saying that since they added Tarkov shooter be the coolest way to unlock meta attachments. I had said this before. Attachments shouldn't be locked behind trader level. They should be locked behind that individual gun. So if you want to unlock all the best parts for a HK, tough shit. You've got to use the fucking bare bones HK until you've earned enough experience to level that gun up to the point where you can buy all the meta attachments. Same thing with shotguns, same thing with SMGs, same things with everything. DMRs, everything like that. That'd be so fucking cool. And the backlash I got when I suggested that was everybody saying, oh, you just want Tarkov to be like Call of Duty. It's like, dude, there's a reason why Call of Duty is the most like fucking successful FPS franchise in human fucking history. It's because their systems are good and they're fun and they're rewarding. You know what I mean?
Like 2 or 3 raids a night or something after work. It's frankly, it's just not fun fighting those guys either. Like they're still moving really fast. It's like inertia doesn't exist for them, you know, because their kit literally doesn't weigh anything, you know. And I think it's a little unfair. Yeah, and perception hearing range is obviously busted as well. Having weight affect your movement ability would affect your, well, that's the point. CS, that's kind of the point.
Well, I said this about inertia the other day. I'm at the point where inertia doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make any sense to me anymore. It doesn't do anything to slow me down. It doesn't change the way I play at all. Because you guys want to know what I do at the start of a fight? I drop my backpack. I drop a gun that's in my secondary slot, and then I'm not overweight anymore. And inertia doesn't affect me. And I do that every single time I'm overweight. There's no penalty for me. You know what I mean? And then even before I got max strength, I had something in my container that made it so I had max strength every time. A mule. I'd run a mule and an SJ6 and I could run out as if I had max strength for most of the time. Inertia did affect me, but like it let me get out of the raid a lot quicker than I'm supposed to be able to, you know?
Point, like having your weight affect your movement increases the risk reward. So like if you have a lot of shit in your bag, guess what? There's a feature in the game where you can throw your backpack on the ground. So if somebody starts shooting at you, press Z, drop your bag on the ground. All of that weight is now gone. That's a feature. It's there. Like fighting with the backpack on is not something that's comfortable. Like eventually, like how, you know, we have turn speed debuffs and ergo debuffs to, you know, armor. It's going to be the same thing for backpacks one day. That's already confirmed. They're going to do that. Backpacks will eventually debuff your turning speed and stuff like that. So having a raid bag on top of having loot in it will make you a slow boy, as it would, you know, I hate to say this, in real life, because like having a huge cumbersome backpack full of shit doesn't mean you get to move around like fucking Usain Bolt. Like just throw it on the ground. If you get shot at, throw your fucking backpack on the ground and then fight. Now, I personally don't think this should remove the skills. I think the skills are cool. It's a cool, fun RPG mechanic. It's a good mechanic.
I always hated that. I've seen this so many times over the years. Just delete the skills from the game. We don't need them. It's like, that is such a big part of the game that removing them would just feel like shit. Dude, it's so much like progression and like so much gratification for getting those skills leveled up that it would feel fucking really bad, I think, if they remove the soft skills. I would not like that. And I disagree with people that say that, man. It's just such a cop-out for just, I don't know, just like, you know, like balancing it, you know what I mean? Rather than balancing it, just remove it. It's like, fuck.
But it's more so just like the unfair advantage of like the highest pinnacle of players who get those max level skills. It's a bit broken, in my opinion. I think it's a bit busted. Anyway, end of the rant.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Dude, why the fuck are people giving this video so much shit? Dude, like, I swear at this point, man, it's literally just people giving clean shit for the sake of giving clean shit. Like, it's just because Clean said that. I guarantee you, if anybody else other than Clean said that, everybody would be like, oh, it's the best idea ever. Oh my God. Oh, I fucking love it. But it's like, just because it's Clean. Because, like, I didn't hear anything come out of his mouth there that wasn't common sense.